This is a tutorial on driving to pass your test. I'm a state certified driving instructor. I teach adults and teens. We're in heavy expressway traffic. I'll give you information to help you become a great driver and pass your test. We want to cover our break. It's going to be a lot of stop and go traffic. The speed limit is 70, but we're moving at about 15 miles an hour, so you have to keep space. It's a car lane through every 10 miles an hour. We have fuel, we're not late. The biggest thing I see, all of us drive fast and reckless when we're late. Try not to be late to your job, home, family things, because it will just make you speed and you'll become very reckless and you will have an accident and crash, and then you won't know why. Next, you need to try to get as much sleep as possible. I know all of you are older and you don't need me to tell you, I'm not your mother, but sleep is really important. Sleep is very underrated because we all tend to have micro sleep episodes. And when you have micro sleep episodes, you're obviously going to fall asleep for moments at a time, and this could lead to crashes. There was a semi-truck driver in Texas who fell asleep at the wheel and killed 5 people. I'm not saying all of you will be that extreme, but you really have to, whoa, you saw that white car in a Durango. You really got to be careful. So I tend to keep a little bit more following distance in case people slam brakes or aren't paying attention. Also, I see you got to be a defensive driver. People make mistakes, they're tired, they're not paying attention. You don't want to accidentally road rage on someone, and it could be very horrible. The outcome could be bad. So you got to remember we're all human. We want to err on the side of caution. You want to think of your life and the life of others. I definitely agree with that. And we just want to be as smooth and as patient as possible. More and more drivers are getting on the road. By 2030, I believe, the largest sector of the population is going to be at 40 and up. So you're going to see a lot of us guys out there driving, getting to work, not playing with you young teens, young 20-somethings. Oh, it takes about 10 years for a beginning driver to master. So if you're 16, 26. If you're 17, 27. If you're 18, 28. If you're 21, 31. You get the idea. So how do my videos help you? First, I have over 24 years of driving instruction for adults and teens and road test prep. Next, I'm not going to lie to you. If someone is out here doing something really good, I'm going to point it out. Like, we're kind of keeping good following distance. If someone is driving reckless and crazy, I'm going to point it out. A young 20-something who's late going over to Canada, to Toronto, and they're flying, cutting in and out of traffic. You will see drivers like that, and you want to stay away from them. If your parents tend to drive fast, you may or may not drive fast. If your parents tend to leave late and drive fast, you may or may not leave late and drive fast. So we are products of our environment. Thank you for the thumbs up. If your mom and dad are pretty good drivers, you'll probably be a pretty good driver. You can't take it personal when someone cuts you off or tailgates you or slashes in your lane. You just got to make more room. We're all in a hurry. We all want to get there safely. Next, in your late teens, you really need to start thinking about financial freedom. I know you're saying this is just driver's ed, but it's bigger than that. You got to start saving some money up, establishing credit, because if you get a piece of junky car, we all had those. Your car's going to break down. It won't be reliable. If you live in a city, a lot of jobs in the suburbs, and your car's going to break down, and you'll be late, and you're going to lose your job. That happened to me several times. So you've got to learn to be on time, communicate. But at the end of the day, these companies don't care. I have a student, her brother works for Apple. He got laid off. He saved money. He saved about 70K. He's in Japan right now, and he's enjoying his life. But we all won't be able to save money like that, because between 16 and 21, you're trying to move out, you're trying to save money, you're trying to establish who you are. You graduated from high school, you're either going into the skilled trades. My dad was an electrician, by the way. Shout out to all the electricians who are making things happen around the country, building our infrastructure up. The transportation industry is very huge. There's a need for drivers, semi-truck drivers, state drivers, limousine, and of course, adult and teen driver education. There's a shortage. I'm going to be out of this seat at 2032 probably. I keep saying that, but I'm going to try to make as many tutorials as possible and help you guys. And I'm trying to positively manifest a nonprofit to help 18 and up learn how to drive, get an EV, teach them to read, financial literacy, real estate. So over the next 5 years. And Neil, I want to say thank you for thinking of a long-range plan, right? Because eventually this does get old. You do get tired of this. Everyone's trying to get to downtown Houston, Texas, downtown Detroit, downtown Los Angeles, California. And this is the rat race. And a lot of you won't drive in this deep traffic. You're going to go home to work. You're going to go home to a community college. You won't really drive in this type of traffic until your late teens, early 20s, if you get a job in a corporate world. Many of you will do manual labor jobs, which there's nothing wrong. You'll make great money. But if you get a chance to go to college, you need to find the right degree, talk to your professors, talk to your counselor, do some research. Now we're starting to move a little bit, because no one guarantees a job of 50K, 80K, 100K. And many of you will have college debt too. So that's pressure too. If you're good enough to play athletics, I was good enough to play and help pay for my college, help get me going. My son did also too. He played in Belo Horizonte, Brazil. Shout out Team Galo. And then he's going to be trying out for the UFL this November, going down Houston, Texas. And of course, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson and his ex, they are minority owners in the UFL. So there are opportunities. This is dangerous right now. We're going on a downhill slope. You want to go really fast, cars cut in front of you, you can't stop. So we're just kind of driving smoothly. You need to try to reach out to your uncle, your auntie. They love you and they have watched you grow up. Drive with them. They'll be honest. They won't judge you. Your mom and dad tend to be more critical, harder on you, taking your head off, screaming at you. And then if you have anxiety post-COVID, you won't drive. Like, this exit takes us out of the country. All these cars wait till the last second to get over. This creates a crash potential. This is why I'm trying to cover the brake and not keep hitting the brake. It's going to wear out the brake pads. But a lot of you who watch this are your early 20s, 30s. You're flying. You just got up now. You should be downtown Houston at 7. It's 7:40, and you're going to fly through here doing about 100. You might be able to make it, but you're going to have to cut in and out of traffic. And that's not what this is about. This is about safe driving, getting your license, staying smooth, keeping space. And you can see cars who are cutting off, who are driving smooth. And when you're in some of you live in New York, some of you live in Texas, some of you live in the UK, wherever you live, you're going to have traffic. Like this Ram 1500, really nice, beautiful, but I really can't see around So I'm trying to keep my following distance. You may find yourself, you live in a suburb or in a rural area and you get a job in the city. You're like, man, it pays $45K. But wear and tear on your car, gasoline, $100 a week. That adds up. That's $400 a month. Then you have to pay for parking because a lot of these cities are poor. Sorry, Dallas. And then you're going to have to pay for parking and the risk of getting your car stolen. Is there one of my first videos was when my SS Trailblazer, I'm crying, got stolen. It's on my YouTube channel somewhere, but they stole my truck, and I worked hard for that. But it was my fault. My brother told me, you're driving a high-performance vehicle, high-profile vehicle. I didn't listen to him, and they stole my truck. And my son was really, I think he was getting ready to go into 8th grade or 7th grade. And he's like, Dad, I don't want to drive in that truck anymore. Some guy tried to steal your truck. But I couldn't take pictures. It was at the salvage yard. The leather seats were taken out. It had the LS2 motor. For those of you who are in your upper 20s and 30s, that's the Corvette engine, all-wheel drive. It was a beast. And I was learning how to tune it. Once you get a vehicle, you need to learn it. You need to lay on the ground and look underneath and listen to certain sounds so you know. And you can really anticipate damages and dangers. And I live in the Midwest, so it's always cold. And the wintertime, if you don't have a good battery, your car won't start, you'll be stranded. I've been stranded before. Blew the transmission up a couple times. And I'm trying to stay in open areas. But if you don't ever drive, you won't ever experience the joy of getting a vehicle, the frustration of your vehicle breaking down, the excitement of getting in tune. I may have some videos of that. I'll look for it. But every time you get to work, it's an exciting moment. It's a scary moment. You could get fired. You could get terminated. You could get a promotion. Next, I would suggest you get a resume on Indeed. I have 3. Education, social media, driver's education. Wow, someone dropped some furniture. Because we all want to get to work or get home. And your parents won't be here forever. So you gotta put on your big boy, big girl pants. You're not the only driver out here. They're tailgating. But it's always about being positive. I'm a very positive worker. And I try to lay the foundation for success. You could get fired at any time. They'll let people go for random reasons. So don't get too comfortable at your job. Don't just take your ID badge and your computer. I'm trying to keep my space. And trying to show off and get a car you can't afford, it's not worth it. I was here one time. My payment was $1,000. It was $999. It was $1,014 if it was late. It was always late. So don't buy a vehicle you can't afford because you do not want to be house broke, car broke. You want to be able to save some money, have a reliable vehicle. There's a big slowdown. Sorry about that. It's deeper than just learning how to drive. It's really a survival tool because you're really limiting your economic opportunities to make money. And we all want to make money, whether it's Uber, Lyft, rideshare. But if you're, I believe in Texas, they have the RoboCab. So they're taking Uber and Lyft's jobs right now. So you also want a skill set you can do with your hands. AI will replace a lot of things. And I had a parent tell me that she's a chemist. She's actually in the paint industry. So, and she knows what she's talking about. Always leaving out. People could start fighting, getting violent. A lot of these brands stand for luxury. A lot of them stand for young. A lot of them stand for old. You got to do your research and find out what vehicle you can afford, because we're not in high school anymore. This guy, I don't know what's going on with him, man. Oh, God. This is a crossover, so I got to stop here, and I'm waiting for a gap. Here's my gap. Also, more and more communities are getting license plate readers because the community is fed up with violence, property damage. And yes, I talked to my lawyer. It is against our rights, but the common good is more important than our individual rights. But many of you who are under 25, you're like, that's not fair. Some of you don't even care because you grew up with the phone in your face, and you don't really have social skills because you're that post-COVID group. And you don't have a filter. And that's why you get fired from jobs. You work 3 months and then you tell your dad and mom, my boss didn't like me. No, you got fired. So you got to learn to be respectable and treat people with kindness and love. And a lot of you who watch this don't. I see some of your comments and I do reply. And, you know, we're going through driving, also, you know, getting gas, getting food, going to the bank, getting money. But a lot of you don't even have a debit or credit card, so you don't really understand the whole process of getting yourself together. I'm going to go over some information. When driving, visual skills, identify targets. Search 15 to 20 seconds ahead. When you're driving, you got to search 15 to 20 seconds ahead. Turn your head prior to turning. You saw me look left, you saw me look right. Able to judge stopping distance and following distance. I kept good following distance. I didn't tailgate. Checks mirrors regularly. I was always checking mirrors. Next, a dangerous maneuver. Some cars here cut me off. I tried not to tailgate. I used my blinker. I did not strike an object. That is automatic failure. Failure to yield. I always yield for pedestrians, cars. I had to yield merging on the expressway. Backing up, you got to look out of your back window. You can't always rely on the backup camera. Next, use a balanced 8 and 4 approach. I tend to drive at 7 and 5. I have larger hands, so I had them down lower and larger arms, so I need more space. Next, push-pull. I use push-pull when going around a roundabout. Next, what's going to be on your test? You're going to have to make 2 left turns, 2 right turns. You're going to have to check traffic and signal. You're looking for a gap. A gap is the space. You don't want to come out and cut off a car. Next, you're going to have to visualize and verbalize an adequate gap. If you pull out in front of a car, automatic failure. If you have to make an evasive maneuver. Complete turn in proper lane. Keep your turn short. Turn in the nearest lane. Next, looks for open space. I was looking for open spaces as I was driving. Understands right of way. The first car to get here is the first car to leave. More beginners fail because they don't understand that. Stops in a proper position behind the stop line. Maintains proper lane positioning. Gradually increase the speed at apex so I'm not going over speed. Parking, perpendicular on the right side. Perpendicular on the left side. Parallel parking, got to line up, reverse back, turn your wheel all the way to the right. I have some good videos on that. Stops at the curb. We don't want to hit the curb or strike an object. Next, proper signals, 100 feet or half a block. Safely exits parking space. You want to keep space. Expressway driving, accelerates to proper speed. I was doing that. You saw me keeping it with the flow of the traffic. Identifies and selects a proper gap. I want to make sure I have enough room so I don't want to rear end someone and no one rear ends me. Maintains proper speed. We were at about 65 or 45, then 70, so the speed went up and down. Slows down in a deacceleration lane, so I'm not going really fast on the ramp. Prepares to stop or merge into flow of traffic. You always have to be ready for sudden slowdowns or sudden pickups. Proper signals, 100 feet or half a block. Safe driving behaviors. And before I finish this, you need to subscribe to the channel. You need to be smashing that notification. I'm a state certified driving instructor. I will help you learn how to drive. You need to be reaching out to me on my stand store. There's a link in the bio. We have digital products. Automatically put seatbelt on. When you first get in the car, put on your seatbelt. Next, maintains proper speed at all times. Have your speed so you can adjust properly up or down. Maintain safe following distance. You never saw me tailgate because I don't tailgate. If I tailgate, I'm going to lose room. And then if someone slams brakes in front of me, I'm going to hit them, and then someone's going to hit me. Next, maintains and identifies, understands, and responds appropriately to turn signals and signs. Stop signs, yield signs. Demonstrates proper use of mirrors. Checks before stopping or changing lanes. Mirror, turn signal, blind spot. Understands different vehicle capabilities. Effectively manages risk in a driving environment. Demonstrates the ability to select a gap, yields to pedestrians. If this sounds like something you want to learn, you need to be subscribing to my channel. You need to be smashing that bell notification. And you really need to make a commitment. It's a personal commitment. I understand. You may have a child. You don't have time. But you need to make time to watch these things, learn these things. Subscribe to my channel, smash the bell notification. I will be going live later. Bye.